Hare Krishna, thank you for joining. Let's make it start on Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunj Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunj Bihari, Jai Gopi Janavallabha, Jai Giravardhari, Jai Gopi Janavallabha, Jai Giravardhari, Shodanandan Vraj Janaranjan, Shodanandan Vraj Janaranjan, Yamuna Tiravanachari, Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimirnasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadameyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadhutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakharmitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatu Priyascha Kirpa Sindhubevacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo 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 Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti Go Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpatahum Vande Shri Gurun Din Taranam Paramanandamadam Shri Sanyashram Hari Om Tassat Narayan Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jamaduriyat Nashta Presya Abduresya Nitya Bhagavad-Sevayā Bhagavati Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. So we want to finish the chapter by Friday, and so we'll cover as many verses we can today and then finish off on Friday. Then next 2 weeks, as you must have seen the messages, we won't have any morning programs. We'll have next Wednesday rather, on the 20th, the overview of this chapter, and then week after on the 27th we'll have the overview of the whole of Canto 1. How beautiful that would be, we go through the whole thing. So I think it's been marvelous, and I'm looking forward to that. And we got temple presidents coming. We got Pardumna Prabhu from Leicester president, Iskcon Leicester president. He'll be doing chapter 19. And then we got Gaura Nataraj Prabhu of Iskcon Manchester president. on doing the whole canto 1. So hear from these exalted people, personalities. So look forward to that. Right. So last time, first of all, we were talking about Maharaj due to go back in 7 days. He was praised by the demigods and the sages, because a human being going back to Godhead is a very big achievement. And not only that, it's a topmost Vaikuntha planet of millions of Vaikuntha planets. It's like somebody's child going to, say, Oxford or Cambridge University.
Or Harvard.
Oh, well, yeah, in the US they can go to Harvard as well, or even from here. Now, many people can go to university, but going to Oxford, or if you say somebody, oh, their son is going to university, or daughter's going to university, it doesn't sound big as when they say they're going to Oxford or Cambridge or Harvard, like that, and that sounds special. So this is a special moment. And other thing we discussed was going back to Godhead. Even going back to Godhead, you must have the right reasons for going back. If you just want to go back because you're unhappy, then that's a material desire. And there should be no material desires. The only desire should be only that we want to serve Krishna directly, serve him, serve Krishna himself, face to face. That should be the only desire, because that's our constitutional position. And we also said that everything is auspicious when we are connected to Krishna. So things may seem inauspicious, but that is not the case. They are auspicious if they are connected with Krishna, if we are connected with Krishna. So let's continue. Verse 22. And it has disappeared now. Let's get it back. Just give me 1 second, please. Okay. Let me just share this. Wonderful. Has it come through?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Ashrutya tadvishigan vacha prikshet sama madhuchat guru chavalikam abhashate nan abhinandya yuktan shushrush amanas charitani Vishnu. I won't go to the synonyms because time. Translation: all that was spoken by the great sages was very sweet to hear, full of meaning and appropriately presented as perfectly true. So after hearing them, Maharaj Parikshit, desiring to hear of the activity of Lord Sri Krishna, the personal Godhead, congratulated the great sages. Smagatha sarvat eva sarve veda yatha murti dharastri pristhe nehat namutra cha kaschanarat rite paranugraham atam shilam. So samagataha, assembled, sarvataha, from all directions, eva, certainly, survey, all of you. And I said I won't do it, so I'm good to have it. The king said, O great sages, you have all very kindly assembled here, having come from all parts of the universe. You are all as good as supreme knowledge personified, who resides in the planet above the 3 worlds. Consequently, so he's talking about Brahmalok, Satyalok. Consequently, you are naturally inclined to do good to others, but for this you have no interest, either in this life or in the next. 6 kinds of opulence, namely wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, are all originally the different attributes pertaining the absolute personal Godhead, Bhagwan. In other words, the living beings who are part and parcel entities of the Supreme Being have all these attributes partially. So we have a little bit of that, but Lord has unlimited, up to the full strength of 78% in the material world, these attributes, up to 78% of the Lord's attributes, are covered by the material energy, as the sun is covered by a cloud. The covered strength of the sun is very dim compared to the original glare. Yeah, it's not so hot when when it's cloudy, although the light is there. And similarly, the original color of the living beings with such attributes becomes almost extinct. There are three planet systems, namely the lower worlds, the intermediate worlds, and the upper worlds. The human beings on earth are situated at the beginning of the intermediate worlds, but living beings like Brahma and his contemporary live in the upper worlds, of which the topmost is Satyalok. In Satyalok, the inhabitants are fully cognizant of Vedic wisdom, and thus the mystic clouds of material energy is cleared. Therefore, they are known as the Vedas personified. Such persons, being fully aware of knowledge, both mundane and transcendental, have no interest in either the mundane or transcendental worlds. They are practically desireless devotees. In the mundane world, they have nothing to achieve, and in the transcendental world, they are full in themselves. Then why do they come to mundane world? They descend to different planets as messiahs by the order of the Lord to deliver the fallen souls. So they just want to serve, that's all they want. On the earth, they come down and do good to the people of the world in different circumstances under different climatic influences. They have nothing to do in this world save and except reclaim the fallen souls rotting in material existence, deluded by material energy. So, we are now just glorifying these sages, these people who are there. And that's the praises of the sages. Indirectly, it praises, glorifies Maharaj Parikshit as well, because you're known by the company you keep, and if these people making time for Maharaj Parikshit, just shows how exalted Maharaj Parikshit must be to have these people coming to see him. Tataschava prasyam imam viprashe vishrabhya vipraiti kritatayam sarvatmana mriya manas vanescha kritam shudam cha tatramrishta viyukta. So, O trustworthy Brahmins, I now ask you about my immediate duty. So here we go. So, although Maharaj Parikshit is going to fast till death, now he asks, what is my immediate duty for one who is about to die? Please, after a proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, and specifically of those who are just about to die. So we don't know when we're going to die. We should consider ourselves are just about to die, because we could die any time. So in this verse, the king has placed two questions before the learned sages. The first question is, what is the duty of everyone in all circumstances? And the second question is, what is the specific duty of one who is to die very shortly? So if you already know, we can only guess, but one who knows that, yes, it's only got 7 days left. Out of the two, the question relating to the dying man is most important, because everyone is a dying man, either very shortly or after 100 years. The duration of life is a material, but the duty of a dying man is very important. Maharaj Parikshit placed these two questions before Shukadeva Swami also on his arrival, and practically the whole of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, beginning from the 2nd canto up to the last 12th canto, deals with these two questions. So what is the duty of everyone? What is the duty of the man who's about to die? That's two questions. The conclusion arrived at thereof is that devotional service to the Lord Sri Krishna, as it is confirmed by the Lord himself in the last pages of the Bhagavad-Gita, is the last word in relation to everyone's permanent duty in life. Maharaj Parikshit was already aware of this fact, but he wanted the great sages assembled there to unanimously give their verdict on his conviction so that he might be able to go on with his confirmed duty without controversy. So no harm in taking a second opinion for someone who consider higher than you. He has especially mentioned the word Shuddha, or perfectly correct. For transcendental realization or self-realization, many processes are recommended by various classes of philosophers. Some of them are first-class methods, some of them are second and third-class methods. The first-class method demands that one give up all other methods and surrender onto the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus be saved from all saints and their reaction. That's what Krishna said. Whatever Lord Krishna says, that is the first-class method. So this 24, let's add something to this. So 2 questions by Maharaj. What is the duty of everyone in all circumstances? And second question, what is the specific duty of one who has died shortly? The whole of Bhagavatam from beginning of the second canto up to the end of 12th canto deals with these 2 questions. And so the answer was devotional service is the permanent duty. Actually, it's the eternal duty of life. It doesn't matter what, whether you're a sage or a demigod or a human, or you have a body of a manjari or a gopi, of a friend, of a servant, is parent, whatever you have is to serve the Lord. That is the last that should be the decision, that we want to serve Lord Krishna, and there is no other second choice. That's the only choice we have. The last word. Tatra bhavad bhagwan vasya putro, tatra bhavad bhagwan vyasa putro, yadrashya gam atmano anapeksha, alakshalingo nij labhatusto, vritascha bale avadhuta vesha. So at the moment they appeared, the powerful son of Vyasadeva, who travelled over the earth disinterested and satisfied with himself. He did not manifest any symptoms of belonging to any social order or status of life. He was surrounded with women and children, and he dressed as if others had neglected him. So the word Bhagwan is sometimes used in relation with some of the great devotees of the Lord, like Shukadeva Goswami. Such liberated souls are disinterested in the affairs of this material world because they are self-satisfied by the great achievements of devotional service. As explained before, Shukadeva Goswami never accepted any form of spiritual master, nor did he undergo any formal reformatory performances. His father Vyasadeva was his natural spiritual master, because Shukadeva Goswami heard Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from him. After this, he became completely self-satisfied. Thus, he was not dependent on any formal process. The formal processes are necessary for those who are expected to reach the stage of complete liberation. But Sri Shukadeva Goswami was already in that status by the grace of his father. So as a young boy, he was expected to be properly dressed, but he went about naked and was uninterested in social customs. He was neglected by the general populace, and inquisitive boys and men surrounded him as if he were a madman. He thus appears on the scene while travelling on the earth of his own accord. It appears that upon the inquiry of Maharaj Parikshit, the great sages were not unanimous in their decision as to what was to be done. So they all, as we said last week, they all giving their own opinions, because they were from different schools of thought, and they belong to different kinds of sampradayas, and so they're giving their opinion according to their beliefs. And so here is Shukadeva Goswami. He's not wearing any clothes, but we wear clothes. It's a social, it's a social custom. It's important. You'll get arrested if you don't, for a start. And whereas the animals don't have those social customs, and they don't get arrested for not wearing any clothes. So if nothing else, to keep warm or something, at least we have to follow the social etiquettes For spiritual salvation, there were many prescriptions according to the different modes or different persons. So different sages were in different modes. But the ultimate aim lies to attain the highest perfectional stage of devotional service to the Lord. As doctors differ, so also sages differ in their different prescriptions. While such things were going on, the great and powerful son of Vyasadeva appeared on the scene. So it's very important, if you're following Iskcon, that you follow or listen to lectures as much as possible to the Iskcon devotees, Iskcon seniors, because you listen to other lectures, it might just cause you confusion. There tend to be some variance in the philosophy, in the thinking. It can be confusing. But we want to follow just one type of philosophy and stick to that, because there is really not time for debate or experimentation. Should be confident that what I'm following is, or once you are confident that what you're following is bona fide, right, is first class, then just follow it. Don't keep experimenting here and there. You just waste time, that's all, and confuse yourself. So Maharaj Parikshit had asked two questions: what is the best thing for all people at all times, especially for one who's about to die? There were people there from differing spiritual philosophy. So there's Kannad, Kapil, Jaimini, Patanjali. So they had different opinions. So he's very, very exalted devotee, but got different schools of thought. Krishna saw the intention and sincerity of the king's purpose, not his shortcomings. Krishna made arrangements for Sukadeva Swami to appear. So because there was so much confusion, and Maharaj Parikshit, he hasn't really got time, like I said, to be dealing with this confusion. He needs a prescription that is just right for him. So Lord Krishna arranged for Sukadeva Swami to appear. Lord in the heart, arrange it for you. Same with us. He sees our sincerity and not our attachments or shortcomings. So if we are sincere, our intention is good, Krishna will arrange the necessary prescription for us. So we have to be confident about that Krishna arranges everything. So Sukadeva Goswami is on the scene. Tam dvista varsham su kumar pad karoru bhav amsha kapolo gatram charav avyatok shanas tulyakarn subharv ananam kambu sujat kantham. So this son of Vyasadeva was only 16 years old. His legs, hands, thighs, arms, shoulders, forehead, and the other parts of his body were all delicately formed. His eyes were beautifully white, and his nose and ears were highly raised. He had a very attractive face, and his neck was well formed and beautiful like a conch shell. So, a respectable personality is describing beginning with the legs. A respectable personality is described beginning with the legs, and this honored system is observed here with Sukadeva Goswami. He was only 16 years of age. A person is honored for his achievements and not for advanced age. A person can be older by experience and not by age. Sri Sukadeva Goswami, who is described herein as the son of Vyasadeva, was by his knowledge more experienced than all the sages present there, although he was only 16 years old. So he's probably the youngest sage there, or Goswami as we call. So it's considered embarrassing to glorify one's face and then feet. So this is interesting. So we start with the feet and we work our way up, because it's embarrassing to glorify one's face first and then go to the feet. Experience dictates advancement, not age. Although he's not only 16, his spiritual realizations are far more greater than all the sages. This is amazing. He's greater than all the sages there. And there's, we saw all the Jaimini, Kapila, and Kannada. So all the sages, and he's mentioned as being greater than all of them. That's why he got the opportunity. So Nigud Jatrom Prithutunga Vakshusam Avart Nabhim Vali Valuktaram Cha Dig Abaram Vaktra Vikran Kesham Pralamba Bahum Sabamoratamba. So his collarbone was fleshy, his chest broad and thick, his navel deep, and his abdomen beautifully striped. His arms were long, and curly hair was strewn over his beautiful face. He was naked, and the hue of his body reflected that of Lord Krishna. His body features indicate him to be different from common men. All the signs described in connection with the body features of Shukadeva Goswami are uncommon symptoms typical of great personalities. According to the physiognomical calculations, his body he resembled that of Lord Krishna, who is the supreme among the gods, demigods, and all living beings. Interesting. So he's not your ordinary person, even though he's on planet Earth, but he was sent here for a purpose, or he was, in fact, he was left here for a purpose, because he's rather running his parrot, and he was left here for a service that was forthcoming. Shyamam sadapi vyavayu anga lakshmya strina mano jana ruchira samitena pratyutitaste munya svasane veyas tal lakshangya api gura varchasam. Shyamam, so blackish. He was blackish and very beautiful due to his youth. Because of the glamour of his body and his attractive smiles, he was pleasing to women. Though he tried to cover his natural glories, the great sages present there were all expert in the art of physiognomy, and so they honored him by rising from their seats. So they could see that he was no ordinary person. Similar, like Lord Chaitanya, when the sages saw him, that they could tell that this was someone special. He's not an ordinary person. He's like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So very, there's so much difference from an ordinary person that, you can say confidently that this person is not of this world. Sa Vishnu rato titya agatya tasmai sapryam shirascha har tato nivarta hi aboda istriyor arbaka mahasne supa vivesha pujita. So Maharaj Parikshit, who is also known as Vishnu Rat, one who is always protected by Vishnu, bowed his head to receive the chief guest, Shukadeva Goswami. So this is a boy, 16-year-old, is naked, but yet the emperor of the world received this chief guest and bowed his head to him. So Maharaj is confident that, I'm sure the sages must have got up for him, so he realized that this is somebody special, not some mad crazy kid who just come to see what's going on. So at that time, all the ignorant women and boys ceased following Srila Shukadeva Goswami because they didn't understand him. They thought he was somebody crazy. Receiving respect from all, Shukadeva Goswami took his exalted seat, ceased following. They realized that they made a mistake. So on Shukadeva Goswami's arrival at the meeting, everyone except Srila Vyasadeva, Narad, and a few others stood up, and Maharaj Parikshit, who was glad to receive a great devotee of the Lord, bowed down before him with all the limbs of his body. Shukadeva Swami also exchanged the greetings and reception by embrace, shaking of hands, nodding and bowing down, especially before his father and Narad Muni. Thus he was offered the presidential seat at the meeting. When he was, so his father is his guru, Narad Muni is the guru of his father, so especially before his father and Narad Muni. Thus he was offered the presidential seat at the meeting. When he was sought a seat by the kings and sages, the street boys and less intelligent women who followed him were struck with wonder and fear. They thought, they've insulted somebody very important, they might get punished for this. So they retired from their frivolous activities and everything was full of gravity now and calm. All this nonsense noise of children, etc. They quickly scattered, left. So that's the reception of Sukadeva Goswami by everyone. Sa samvratas tatra mahan mahiyasam Brahm Rishi, Raj Rishi, Dev Rishi Sanghi Vyaro Chatalam Bhagwan Yathendur Garaksha Tara Nikarhi Paritaha. So Sukadeva Goswami was then surrounded by saintly sages and demigods, just as the moon is surrounded by stars, planets and other heavenly bodies. His presence was gorgeous and he was respected by all. How amazing that is. 16-year-old boy. If it's mentioned that he was 16, so it hasn't been long since he's taken birth, because he stayed in his mother's womb since the age of 16. It's also mentioned. So he really, he knows everything. So amazing. In the great assembly of saintly personalities, there was Vyasadeva, the Brahm Rishi, Narad, the Dev Rishi, even Parshuram, the great ruler of the Kshatriya kings, etc. Some of them were powerful incarnations of the Lord, for one Parshuram. And even Vyasadeva. Sukadeva Goswami was not known as Brahm Rishi, Raj Rishi, or Dev Rishi. Nor was he an incarnation like Narad, Vyas or Parshuram. And yet he excelled them in respects paid. This means that the devotee of the Lord is more honored in the world than the Lord himself. So the incarnations of the Lord probably didn't get the presidential seat, but he did. One should therefore never minimize the importance of a devotee like Sukadeva Goswami. So, Narad Muni, the Goswami, used to come and visit Srila Prabhupada. They could definitely see what Srila Prabhupada was doing was extraordinary. Krishna wants to glorify his devotees. So the glory that Srila Prabhupada receives will also be extraordinary. Krishna is very happy when his devotees are glorified. Krishna wanted to see Arjun glorified, Bhisham glorified, Maharaj Yudhishthira glorified, and we have been through all that in Canto 1. Krishna always glorifies his devotees, and Srila Prabhupada, he gets glorified when we're doing Guru Puja, even the Guru Ashtakam. Every morning Srila Prabhupada is glorified all around the world. And it's so wonderful and amazing. You see people, of different nationalities, whether it's China, even place like Pakistan, you see people worshipping in their own way. They got their own little style, and the accent will differ as well, but they all, the principle is the same. They're all worshipping Srila Prabhupada, the Jagat Guru, Srila Prabhupada is glorified, and that's all Krishna's arrangement, because Srila Prabhupada was sincere in what he wanted to achieve. Now, Srila Prabhupada is a very exalted devotee. He had a purpose. He was sent here for a purpose. We are also here, and sometimes we get some glory, but we should be careful, because that little glory can go in like a needle and come out like a plow. So we have to be very careful that how we digest glorification from others, because where there's flowers, the party is also there. That will hit you on the head if you're not careful. So you have to make sure when the flowers are falling, you keep looking and waiting just in case the party is following. Every flower, there's a flowers and there's a flower pot. So be careful. So glorification, we should offer it back to Srila Prabhupada, because anything we're doing, we are following, it's all thanks to Srila Prabhupada. So never take it that I am the doer, I'm doing something. Just thank the Jagat Guru, the Patita Pavan Guru, that giving us something that we can offer to others, which helps them. That's all. We like Srila Prabhupada. He did not take the glorification, he gave it to his spiritual master. He said it's thanks to his guru that he is able to do what he is doing right now. So never be attached to glorification. Just like glory can come without invitation, insult can also come without invitation, and we see that. And we can see Krishna's arrangement in that as well, that where did this glorification come from? I haven't really done anything that deserves his glory. And then where does this insult come from? That I don't think I haven't done anything here that that there's any kind of response. It can just come out of nowhere. You might avoid people who you think can be a little bit rude, be childish, immature, but you can avoid them. But then suddenly somebody will come across that you never expected, will come and say something that is not good to the heart. So it's unavoidable sometimes, but you have to take it as Krishna's mercy, it's Krishna's arrangement. Krishna is trying to tell you to stay grounded, and we thank Krishna for telling us that we should stay grounded. So thank you so much. So we had glorification of the sages. First of all, we had glorification of Shukadeva Goswami. So amazing people have gathered, and the scene is being set. They all gave their opinion, but Krishna knows his plan, and now he's arranging and has given other people the chance to speak. And there's a big debate. There's no time for debate. Krishna is going to get Shukadeva Goswami to sort things out as he wanted them to be. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll stop here and hear from yourselves. Stop sharing, and we'll get Pundikaksh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
We are in the verge of finishing chapter canto 1 so nicely. Thank you, Prabhuji. The questions asked by Parishad Maharaj are very much similar to the questions asked by sages, like in 6 questions. One of the question is, what is the ultimate benefit for the humankind? And another is, we have got so many Vedic scriptures. So what is the essence of understanding all these Vedic scriptures? Which one we have to actually focus on? And Parishad Maharaj is asking, what is ultimate? What should I do at this moment? And at the same time, what should I do the entire life? So in that way, with these questions, he is helping all of us to understand what we need to focus on throughout the life. And only by doing that, people ask this question like Antakalacha Mameva. So one who takes the name of the Lord at the time of leaving the body, if he gets mukti, then anybody who is acting sinful life, but he takes the name of Lord at the time of leaving body. But it is not that easy. Like it's not. It just said that we are leaving the body, but doesn't mean that everybody can remember. Hardly we can remember our name also, where we are living. We are very much unconscious completely at that time. So it's not. It doesn't come by just like that, like a fluke. It has to be practiced throughout the whole life. And that's why Parishad Maharaj is asking what should be done as a whole life, and at the same time what should be more focus on while leaving the body as well. And this point I like he is called as Vishnu Ratha, one who is always protected by the Lord Vishnu. So if one is sincere and confident, and as you mentioned, like Krishna is always there to protect them, and even though he is young, but he is considered as Mahajan, because he is self-realized already. He is not ready to come out even after 16 years from the mother's womb, because he knows that once he come into this world, he will get stuck in this world by engaging in the material world. So he is self-realized already, but he is sent for a purpose. On this day exactly, when Parishad Maharaj is about to die in 7 days, to give him the ultimate knowledge, he has come into existence, and that is all the plan of the Lord himself. And Krishna likes to glorify his devotees, and throughout Bhagavad-Gita we have seen how he glorify Arjuna and all other devotees all the time. And I like this, like when Krishna um, during during Radhasuya Yajna, Krishna took the service at the place of slippers, where slippers are kept. So he has not taken any other position, but he is at the place where which makes anybody very humble. So Krishna is that kind who gives value to his devotees. Um, that's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yes. Kiran Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Clearly, we left it earlier in the week where it was important to recognize that mind and sense control was so important. And the assembly of the sages these were very, very self-satisfied souls who weren't interested in the Maya Loka that we live in, and that they were here to help us to realize the futility of hankering for material existence. So the sages had assembled there because these were very eminent entities who'd come from different planetary systems, and they'd come to help Maharaj Parikshit answer those very sophisticated questions of what is my purpose, what is the purpose, or what is my duty as a person who's about to die. And so he came to not only help Maharaj Parikshit, the emperor of the world, who was about to die, get clarification on these answers. But Maharaj Parikshit, the emperor of the world, of the entire cosmos, as it were, was ready to receive a 16-year-old child who'd just come, and he was not ordinary child. He was one who'd received all the knowledge in the womb, and he had spent 16 years waiting to come out. But he was one who was a self-realized soul. And so all the sages were happy to accept that this was no ordinary soul. This was a Mahajan. And he was one who had all the knowledge from his father. And therefore, they were ready to accept that this Goswami was able to deliver the answers of that humanity needed, the humanity searches for. Those answers were devotional and surrender. And those two things are as simple as they can be, but that's all that's required. All the other things are a sideshow. All the other things are distractions. And these were the things that this little 16-year-old who came naked, blackish blue, an urchin, he was ready to deliver the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, not only to Parikshit, but to the rest of the world and to each one of us, that this was indeed the quality of the sages and Sukdev Goswami, because not only was he self-enlightened, he was also self-satisfied, and therefore at the end, it was indicated when there is glorification, because Parikshit Maharaj bowed down to him, as did all the sages who got up, and those who ridiculed him, the little boys and the women, because he turned up in the way he did, soon scattered, because they realized that this was no ordinary soul. Because you can't judge a book by its cover, because it's the content of the character of that person's heart, and that content comes out in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was written because it was mentioned by Narad Muni that to Vyasadeva that you have not glorified the Lord enough, and that's why you have in despondency, and that's what's lacking. You didn't glorify the Lord enough, and yet we see Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is mostly about glorifying the Lord's devotees, especially we've seen in Canto 1, and we've named a few. And so anyone is Krishna and anyone associated with Krishna. So glorifying, we have to glorify everyone who's connected with him, and that's glorifying a devotee of Krishna is same as glorifying Krishna himself. And Krishna is, as mentioned, is more happier when you glorify his devotee and then even him. So that's the thing. So you have not glorified Krishna enough means you have not glorified Krishna, you haven't glorified his devotees, his part of Anelia as well, and all the gopis and Radha, Rani, so like that, and his parents. So everyone connected with Krishna has to be glorified. Then you are actually glorifying Krishna, not just glorifying Krishna on his own, but glorifying everything, even the cows, everything connected with Krishna needs to be glorified. This is what I understand from this. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I think apologies, my nose is I'm a little bit bunged up with a cold at the moment, so hopefully you can hear me okay. But one point that really, I guess, in the purport that Prabhupada says, it's about how we're all dying. And I think it's always nice to read things like this. We're all terminal to some extent. No one's going to get out alive. But I think we do tend to forget this, and it's due to the powerful influences of Maya, and also something within us. We do want to live. The thought of living forever, we like that idea. Nobody likes anything impermanent in this world. So we are inherently searching for something permanent in this world. But if you think about where that comes from, it comes from the nature of our soul, which is eternal. So it's natural that we're searching for something permanent but the problem is we're searching for something permanent in an impermanent world. And it's only by some mercy, if we find a devotee, that we can find Krishna, when we've got a chance of finding the real treasure, something that's really actually, and that's the only thing that's permanent, essentially, which is try to develop our love for Krishna. Otherwise we're doomed. We're searching for fleeting happiness in mundane things in this world, unfortunately. So that's our lifeline out of here. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Okay, I think Radharani.
Hare Krishna, my pranams to all of you. Yes, we are concluding this chapter and the arrival of the hero of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Shukdev Goswami. Yes, he's asked the most important questions. What Parikshit Maharaj has asked Shukdev Goswami the most important questions: the duty of everyone who is living, and the duty of someone who is going to be leaving or dying shortly. So the duty of everyone is the varnashram dharma, and the duty of the dying is to be spiritual. How you can be spiritual at the final moments, as we keep repeating every time, we just reminding ourselves, if we will have practiced this during the lifetime, that will be possible. And also we see that the sages were there. The sages could not reach the final consensus or the conclusion of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Now Shukdev Goswami, he has arrived on the scene. He is going to deliver that. So you can see, like they say in India, Jate na pucho sadhu ki, puch lijiye gyan. So he looks like a very immature little boy, an adolescent, a teenager, like we say in today's terms. But you should not go by the person's age, you should go by their knowledge and grasp it with both hands wherever you have the opportunity, especially if it is connected, if it's going to connect you with the Lord Himself. And so it is very, very important. Subtle lessons are given in every shloka, every chapter, and we have to grasp them, we have to remember them, and these are going to help us. And this is what Krishna is going to see at the last moments, that how much diligent we were in our spiritual sadhana. So this is the conclusion. We have to be diligent. If we'll be diligent now, then we'll get top shining marks. We will be noticed. Like they said, do something that your Guru notices you, that Krishna notices you, and not that you want that Krishna should notice you, but you should be doing vice versa, something that the Lord has to notice you. And so we are also seeing that it is described how Shukadev Goswami looked like. Shukadev Goswami, he looked like Krishna himself. So he is termed as Brahmarath. Brahmarath, who is always protected by the Lord. And Parikshit Maharaj is signified as Vishnurath. Vishnurath, who is always protected by Vishnu. Vishnu is a avatar of Krishna. So we can understand here, Shukadev Goswami is an incarnation of Lord Himself. He is also known as Srimati Radharani's parrot, who was left behind when Radha and Krishna finished this Leela and moved on. And also one more point I wanted to make was that in this assembly, when Shukadev Goswami arrived, among the sages there was his guru, his father Vyasadeva, and his father's guru Narad also present. So what a glorious, glorious assembly it must be. Normally you are very lucky if you see your guru, but if you see your guru and your guru's guru as well. For example, the people who were around when Srila Prabhupada was there, Srila Prabhupada's guru was there, and maybe Bhaktivedanta Thakur was there at that time. Just imagine the glory, the immense fortune of those people at that time. So this assembly was a great, great assembly, and that is why I think I was having this realization in my head that why this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is so important, because it signifies very, very important sages, very, very important personalities, all in one literature. They are there, and when we hear, we have this habit as human beings, we try to visualize what we are hearing, and this is called meditation. This is what they say, that we have to we have what we hear in the day, we have to repeat it in our head. We have to go through the meditation, come out with some nice realization. And I was just imagining, wow, not just sea of sages sitting there, the best of the best, the creme de la creme, like they say, but icing on the cake, Shukadev Goswami has come. Why? He has come out to conclude the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam properly, which even the greatest of the great sages were not able to. So we cannot thank Srila Prabhupada enough. All we can do is give this Krishna consciousness, give this Krishna Bhavna Bhavamrita to others, and make them Krishna conscious, make them Krishna Bhavit. So that we can increase the soldiers of Krishna consciousness. I was hearing the other day from our Guru Maharaj. He was saying that I just joined Srila Prabhupada when I heard that this is an army of Krishna. And when he understood what's the importance of army of Krishna, our Guru Maharaj, he said he was only 19. He just joined. He just left everything and he joined. And he says that I practiced. And now he says at that time he's practicing for over 50 years now. When that recording was done, he says that because I've been chanting for 50 years and look, now I only think of Krishna and nothing else. So this is what is going to happen to us if we have this faith in our chanting. If we do it, don't worry about if it's not perfect. It will become perfect one day, and then we will see that what we'll be doing is just thinking of Krishna all the time, and this is what is required to go back to Godhead. That at the last moments, Krishna and our Guru is going to help us get out of this Maya Lok, Mrityu Lok, and get closer to the Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And thank you all. I can understand after the long weekend and everything, we're not at the best of our health at the moment, but thank you for joining and for contributing. And we'll conclude this chapter on Friday morning. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaura Prem Namo. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, everyone. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.